Hello everyone, I'm Bryce Markosasaki from G.V and I'm here with GraphRAG Videos talking with Arun Sharma from, is a developer on the Ladybug DB project. Great to have you on today.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So can you tell us more about your background and experience with graphs?
Well, I've been working with graphs for, I would say, about a dozen years. I was a senior engineer at Facebook where I wrote a distributed graph query system called Dragon. It was an indexing project that wished to become a graph database someday. In fact, I have a entire post dedicated to this. It's called A Brief History of Graphs at Facebook. We'll drop a link in the video afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And then tell us more about Ladybug DB and your big announcement recently.
Great, yeah, about a couple of weeks ago, we had this mysterious event where a popular embedded graph database, it's called DB, that went read-only around October 10th. And I want to first of all start by thanking DB's developers, Semi, Guodong, and Prashant Rao in particular for making Kuzu such a great database. And the community was a little in a little bit of panic because people didn't know what was going on, and I stepped in and I announced Ladybug DB as a fork of Kuzu. And my idea with Ladybug is to run an open source project that's transparent in how it's governed. The copyright is owned by respective developers, and I want to preserve the open source legacy of Kuzu as well as my previous history of involvement with a large open source project such as the Linux kernel. In terms of technical direction, Kuzu started out as a embedded graph database, and I want Ladybug to be everything that Kuzu was, but more, as in I would like Ladybug to be the basis for a data lake that's based on graphs. Think of Databricks or Snowflake, but something that specializes on graphs.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What inspired you to start Ladybug to get this off the ground?
So I was trying to serve some large graphs with Kuzu, and I had some problems. I reached out to the developers. We had some initial discussions, but very clearly, my takeaway from those discussions was that loading graphs into a database, people call it ETL, is an onerous process. People spend a lot of time getting the data into the database and then spend a little bit of time actually processing it. So my vision with Ladybug is people leave their data wherever it is. It's typically in some object store somewhere in the cloud, and access the data from Ladybug without going through this process of ingesting and copying.
Yeah, yeah, okay, great. And then in terms of the graph space in general, what do you feel like is the both current and kind of like different trends or directions in the graph technology space that you see things are going that are interesting or that you feel like have a lot of worth or value?
Yeah, so if you kind of like go back like 10 years, graph databases were trying to be transactional and they were trying to do everything that an OLTP database would do, and also support fast navigation. So that was the state of the technology 10 years ago when I first got involved with graphs. Here we are in 2025, and graphs are increasingly about doing analytics on columnar storage. So you see a lot of graph databases ingesting data that's stored in Parquet files and performing analytics. The other big change, of course, is AI. So there is GraphRAG. This is a paper Microsoft published a couple of years ago. It's a entire conferences dedicated to discussing RAG and GraphRAG. But there are significant challenges, as in extracting data from unstructured sources into a graph is expensive. Doing it well and doing it efficiently and serving it at scale is challenging. And we hope that Ladybug DB would solve the last challenge, which is to serve large graphs at scale.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And then you talked a little bit about the AI, LLMs. There's obviously a lot of discussion, a lot of hype around that. Where do you feel like, if anywhere, Ladybug DB might end up overlapping with some of that discussion around like knowledge graphs and agents and things like that? Anything? Yeah,
so some of these technologies, if you are extracting a large graph, you could use any database to do that. So it's a separate part of the pipeline. Where Ladybug would differentiate from some of the other players is in terms of having an efficient graph format. There's a Apache incubating project called GraphRAG, Apache GAR. It's like a tar file for graphs. So you could basically, you have a graph in some other format, you tar it up and you would transport it from one database to the other. It's really designed as a interchange format, and I think it's going to play a really critical role in how people process large graphs. But adjacent to that, there is a second format that Ladybug DB is working on that would be more similar to an ISO file. An ISO file is something you don't have to untar a file, you don't have to ingest a file. You just mount it where it is and start asking questions. But then how do you create this ISO file? I think that's a discussion I'm actively having with the Apache developers, and I'm going to have it with the larger Ladybug community, and I hope we'll reach a standard format which enables this type of online no-ingest graph processing that I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Anything else you want to add or share?
Ladybug DB is coming along nicely. So we're fixing documentation, we're uploading packages, we're building community around it. So give us a star, open issues if you have, and there's a lot of goodness coming in the coming months.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here for Graph Geeks, and it's always nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me.